Imagine that. And this month is Nutrition Month, and eating a healthy breakfast can be a challenge when you're in a rush. So something that can help, perhaps doubling up on the weekend so you can have an easy breakfast throughout the week. Our nutritionist Andrea Holwegner joins us with some easy tips to get you going throughout the whole week. I know if I don't have breakfast in the morning, by about 7 o'clock, I can really feel it. I can feel the mental drain. You really need it to fuel you.
You do. We know that breakfast is so important. I always say breakfast breaks the fast. It kickstarts the metabolism. It gets us going, gets us good energy. Yeah. We know particularly for kids in school, they score higher on memory tests. So important, yet the most important, or the most commonly skipped meal of the day is usually what we see in our practice.
You've brought in some great examples of things that people can do ahead of time, maybe the night before, maybe on the weekend, that can get you going throughout the whole week.
You got it. And you know, because breakfast is such a busy time in the morning, it's often the one that gets either kind of shortcutted or people just decide to skip it altogether. And so the three things that I love to do that are really easy time savers, first off, hard cooked eggs. They last a week in the fridge. They're such a simple protein. You know, have hard cooked egg, slice of toast, piece of fruit, you're on your way. Wonderful breakfast. Second thing I brought in is a nice homemade pancake here. So whether you use a oatmeal based pancake recipe or something, just Google whole grain pancake recipes. Thousands will come up. Something there is going to look good for you. And these freeze, so double the batch up, put them in the freezer, and just pop them in the toaster.
And that cooks them just fine.
Cooks them just fine. And then they still get a little, toasty and so soggy if you reheat them in the microwave.
They do. They kind of have that clammy feel if you put them in the microwave. And oatmeal, which of course is just a staple in so many households in the mornings.
Yeah, and I see a lot of people do the instant packs of oatmeal, and they're okay, but so much better when you cook a nice big pot of oatmeal. Make it a little runnier than you might normally want to eat it if you are going to cook a giant pot.
Okay.
And that way, when you reheat it, it's about the right consistency for you. So some great things you can toss into oatmeal. You said, I smell the cinnamon here. Yeah. So you got apples. I put some dried blueberries in there, some chia seeds. You can do ground flax. One of my other favorites that my son really enjoys is we call it peanut butter porridge. So we stir peanut butter right into the oatmeal, and there's this beautiful aroma that starts coming through. You can slice some bananas on top. Wonderful, good nutrition there.
And how long typically should you eat your oatmeal within if you do prep it a couple days in advance?
I always say probably within about 3 days for most of your leftovers. With the exception of the hard-cooked eggs, they last about a week.
I touched on it at the beginning of the interview. This is National Nutrition Month, and there's a theme this year.
There is, and our theme is simply cook and enjoy. And what we know as dietitians is that Canadians we're losing some of that basic cooking skill. And so we're on a mission to try and get people thinking about some of those really simple ways you can still fuel your family at home that don't necessarily take a long time. So, these things you could even do as a supper meal. You could do pancakes for supper.
Why not? Pancakes, a little bit of strawberries mixed in there, syrup. Easy peasy.
You got it.
Thanks, Andrea. Andrea is going to stick around with us, and will join us a little bit later in this next hour. Looking forward to that.
Thank you.
After the break, what's hitting theaters this weekend? A box office